He blew the whistle on his employer because he was worried about public safety. Ironically, he investigated whistleblower cases for the federal government.
Investigative reporter Vicki Nguyen first brought you this story of an OSHA employee who claims his agency failed to stand up for workers who raised those red flags specifically about safety. Vicki joins us now. So what's the latest, Vicki?
Well, Jess and Raj, Daryl Whitman put his career on the line to expose what he calls dysfunction within OSHA. He said the agency is hurting the very people it's supposed to protect, workers who are fired for reporting safety problems that can harm the public. Now we've learned Whitman is the one out of a job.
They got rid of the squeaky wheel.
Daryl Whitman calls it retaliation. He says he was fired from his job as an investigator in the federal whistleblower protection program for exposing what he calls a disturbing pattern of mismanagement in OSHA's Region 9 office in San Francisco.
I was going to report when I saw what I thought to be violations of law and policy. I was going to report them, and they were going to have to be responsive to the reports, and they didn't like that.
Whitman spoke out to the investigative unit earlier this year. He says he tried to warn OSHA leaders managers were pressuring employees to close cases without properly investigating. He says they wanted to clear a growing backlog.
I went through every conceivable channel, and what I saw was inaction.
Whitman says his supervisor altered his reports to change his conclusions and dismissed whistleblower complaints, even when Whitman found they had merit. And when we reviewed OSHA's whistleblower cases, the results were dismal. In Region 9, OSHA found in favor of just 2.8% of all cases.
Oh, for sake. Can we at least assume that this do-gooding gentleman, whose specific job it is to help whistleblowers avoid punishment, will be rewarded for his courage?
Whitman's case gained national attention on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart.
I think as soon as you broadcast anything, I'll be fired.
In termination papers, OSHA states it fired Whitman for 6 reasons. They include lack of candor during an investigatory meeting and unauthorized release of government information. Whitman admits he gave complainants information about how he thought their cases were mishandled.
The real reason was that I appeared on your program.
Whitman himself is now a complainant before another government agency, the Office of Special Counsel. The OSC protects federal employees from retaliation for whistleblowing. If he's successful, Whitman's claim could result in a settlement with OSHA or financial reinstatement.
Retaliation doesn't end.
Representing Whitman is Tom Devine, legal director of GAP, the Government Accountability Project. Over the past 3 decades, Devine has testified before Congress, helped pass whistleblower laws, and assisted thousands of whistleblowers.
Individual humans are the Achilles heel of bureaucratic corruption, and that's the people that we specialize in helping.
A critic of the OSHA whistleblower protection program, Devine believes Whitman's claims have merit.
They ring true based on our own experience and the complaints of lawyers who investigated whistleblowers. Then when we start hearing them from the people who are responsible to protect the whistleblowers, it really strikes a chord.
OSHA declined to comment on Whitman's allegations because it is an ongoing personnel case. In emails, OSHA has acknowledged problems with the whistleblower program, but said the agency has taken steps to improve them. Meanwhile, Whitman hopes for reform. He says he risked and lost his job to expose what he considers the program's failure to protect public health and safety.
It may be one of the most important programs in the federal government because it touches all of our lives in different ways.
Now, Whitman says OSHA dismisses too many valid complaints and finds in favor of too few whistleblowers. We finally have the numbers from the National OSHA office, and tonight at 11 we'll break them down and we'll explain to you what's being proposed to fix all of these problems at OSHA.
It's a very important story. We'll see you at 11 o'clock, Vicki.
All right.
Now, if you have a tip or a story for Vicki or anyone in the investigative unit, you can call our tip line, which is 888-996-TIPS, or you can send an email to the unit at NBCBayArea.com.